Hey everyone, it's Andrew Holt.
Carlton DeSalvo.
And welcome to another episode of Peach State Politics. You know, it's a great day in the state of Georgia. As always, spring is finally here, the sun's out, got shorts on, it's getting warmer, we're excited.
Absolutely, and unfortunately so is the pollen. I feel like I need, a gas mask or something just to get through the day.
Now, I have been living on Claritin for the last month. It's funny, I think I've washed my car at least a dozen times, simply so people know it's a blue car and not yellow.
Absolutely, it's definitely been a rough spring. If you've been in Georgia, you understand what this pollen season feels like, but it is a perfect segue into our topic today. So for those that are unaware, Americans for Prosperity just launched a new priority that they will be focusing on for the foreseeable future: healthcare. Luckily, we have our resident federal expert, Andrew Holt, in the office today to walk us through it and kind of explain what a healthcare initiative looks like here in Georgia.
That's exactly right, Carlton, and we're excited about this. So just for starters, every year Americans list healthcare as one of the issues that they want to see addressed and need to be fixed. And we at AFP, we think that the healthcare system needs to be repaired.
Absolutely. It's always exciting too when AFP takes lead on a critical issue such as healthcare. So when you say repaired, what do you mean specifically?
Well, over the last few decades, we have seen massive overregulation that have put access to quality and affordable healthcare out of reach for so many folks, both across the nation and here in Georgia. COVID-19 has only heightened the need for less bureaucracy in our healthcare system. We need to enable people to get that care they need at a location that's accessible to them, but most importantly, it's got to be affordable, Carlton.
Absolutely, and the COVID pandemic, you've been through the thick and thin with us here in Georgia. It's really shown that we do have cracks within the foundation of our healthcare system. And we want to see something positive happen out of this in the next couple of years. So specifically, what is AFP promoting on the healthcare front?
That's a great question. So we are promoting what's called a personal option for healthcare initiative. This campaign is going to represent a positive alternative to the government takeover of healthcare that we've seen over specifically the last decade.
Absolutely. That's incredible news. It's very exciting. We both know the government shouldn't create more red tape for citizens to simply go see a doctor and their primary care physician. It sounds like this personal option campaign will give Americans the freedom to power to handle their health care as they see fit.
Exactly right. The personal option is essentially giving people the keys to their own car and basically saying, hey, you can control and you can find the doctors that you trust and at a price that you can afford.
Absolutely. And a lot of times when we talk about healthcare, things get a little wishy-washy. So I'm going to be the tough guy in this video. What are the brass tacks? What are we talking about in healthcare?
All right, y'all. Well, bear with me. So there's three main components to this initiative that we're going to talk about. So for starters, we believe that Americans need greater access to healthcare. So what that means is we need to expand health savings accounts. We need to strengthen health reimbursement accounts. We need to promote telehealth. We need to repeal certificate of need laws. We need nurses to deliver the care that they're trained for. We need to let doctors and nurses practice across state lines. That's something that, especially over the COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen that there's been hotbeds across the country. We need to allow our medical professionals to get to places that they can go and do their job and then come back home. And then finally, another thing we've seen during the COVID-19 pandemic with Operation Warp Speed, we need to speed up FDA drug trials.
Absolutely, and I really like the idea of promoting telehealth specifically. That is something that can greatly help, especially in the folks in the rural parts of our state, as well as people that are just juggling that work-life balance throughout this COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, if you like that, then you're gonna like this even more. So AFP, and this is something we're excited to say, is asking Congress that any of the COVID-era reforms to telehealth are going to be made permanent. We would like to see that happen. We think that we've made a lot of strides in the telehealth field, and we need to make those locked in. We need those on the books. We shouldn't revert back to pre-pandemic telehealth standards. And that's not all though. So the second part that we're going to be talking about is it's about affordability. At the end of the day, we need to make sure that people can get healthcare at an affordable rate. So we need to reduce prescription drug prices. We need to expand availability of term renewable health insurance plans. We need to legalize association health plans. And lastly, we need to regulate health insurance a lot more sensibly.
Absolutely, and again, something that's so important, reducing drug costs can be hugely impactful, especially in those lower income communities as well throughout our state.
No, that's exactly right. The last thing, and it breaks our heart whenever you hear somebody say, hey, I can't get my medicine because I just can't afford it. That should never be the case in both Georgia, but as in the United States as a whole. So finally, in this initiative that we're going to be pushing, we're talking about quality, and we need better quality. So what that means is we need free hospital and medical facilities to offer more services. We need rapid approval for new therapies and drugs. We need to let patients use telemedicine to see their doctor, even if that's in a different state. Now, I know that might be a little controversial, but that's something that we need to open up. We need to let medical professionals work to their full level of training. We should not allow any kind of red tape to tie our doctors and nurses' hands behind their back. And finally, I mentioned it earlier, we need to let doctors and nurses practice where they're needed.
Absolutely. And again, whenever we talk about healthcare, obviously we throw a lot of information at you. There's a lot of ground to cover. But basically, to tie this up in a nice tight bow for all of y'all, what you're saying is Americans for Prosperity is pushing for greater accessibility, affordability, and better quality healthcare for Americans. I mean, that's awesome. It's amazing. And just to be clear, this is called the Personal Option Initiative, correct?
Yes, that's correct. And you hit the nail on the head. We're harping in on affordability, accessibility, and the better quality. And this is something that it's going to be a long-term goal, and it's not going to be a quick fix. So we're excited here in Georgia. We're going to be building a healthcare coalition to work on these issues for the foreseeable future. So we'll put some more information on this above on this video. There's going to be a link that you can click to find out more about our stance on healthcare. Please check it out. If you have questions, comment. Message us. We're happy to answer any questions you might have. That being said, Carlton, I think you have some exciting news.
Absolutely. Be sure, as always, to make sure to click that link below to find more information and contact us on healthcare initiatives here in Georgia. But we do like to close out with something a little bit more fun, too. So this upcoming April 28th, we are going to have our next Grassroots and Growlers. It'll be at Jekyll Brewing Company, so we just want y'all to come out. If you're in the Alpharetta area, come out, have a free beer with us. We love to fellowship and talk a little bit about politics with you.
That's exactly right. But hey, not so fast, y'all. We will not be at the Jekyll downtown Alpharetta. We are going to be at the Jekyll actual brewing location off the Greenway in Alpharetta. So check the link. Make sure to use the address listed. Don't just type it into your phone and go to the wrong one, because you won't be getting a free beer or you won't get to see us. So that. And finally, I just want to say one last thing. It was Carlton's 1-year anniversary yesterday here at AFP, so please like, comment, add him as your friend. He's not going anywhere. We're not going to allow him to. So congratulations, Carlton. It's awesome to be on the team with you.
Absolutely. Thank you greatly, man. It's a pleasure to serve here in Georgia. And without further ado, please like, share this video. We appreciate y'all viewing it. And as always, have a great day.